Good Sunday morning. It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show. And on this episode, we go up to Banner Elk, North Carolina. Yes, we went all the way up to Banner Elk and we had a great time. We went to lunch up there at the Banner Elk Cafe. And we also stopped in at Those Were the Days Antique Store. It was a great place. And the guy said he was glad I was there because he's getting no business during the week because of the hurricane. He's been really hurting for money, and so people aren't coming up there. But the skiing season is just opening, so Sugar Mountain and Beach Mountain and all those resorts up there where you can go skiing they're opening up. And he said he hopes to get some people in there soon to buy some of his stuff. And he's got a great selection, and I picked up about 5 or 6 items there. And then we went over to the candy store and then we went to had lunch, and we hit all the places. We go to our favorite bakery up there in Boone and some other places. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to show you my top 10 albums from 1985. That's right, 1985. We're halfway through the 80s almost. We're heading towards the 90s. So let's get right into it. Here's my records that I picked up at Those Were the Days Antiques. This one here. Found this was on the wall, and he had a little bit of water damage on the bottom, and he gave me $10 off on this, so I got it for a good price. I got it for like $15, which almost completes my Talking Heads collection. I only got to get I think one more, and then I'll have them all. A band that I didn't really listen to in the 80s, but I've been listening to them lately. Them and Roxy Music. I've been listening to Roxy too. Just trying to listen to different stuff. You get tired of listening to the same old stuff all the time. He had this one there for $5. This Grand Funk Lives. And this album here came out after Mark Forner had, after they kicked him out of the band, or he left the band, or however that went down. And they made 2 albums after that. I think the other one's called What's Funk or something like that. But for $5, I'm a completist on funk, so I picked it up. I'll give it a listen, see how it sounds without Mark on the band. What else did I pick up? Oh, I saw this one there. This is our actual re-release. I think it's a second pressing of Uriah Heep's Salisbury. So I was looking forward to giving this a listen. I heard that their first 3 or 4 albums are their best. That's probably for most bands. So I'm going to give that one a listen today. Saw this one there, Electric Music for the Mind and Body. And this is a really cool psych album, Country Joe and the Fish. He had $7 on this album, and I'm going to give this one a listen. I'm all in on the psych music, and I've asked Santa for the Encyclopedia of Psych Music for Christmas, so hopefully I'll get that, the book that everybody's getting, all the cool kids are getting. Mott the Hoople Live. This was there for a $5, and I figured I'd pick this one up. I love Mott the Hoople. Yeah, Mick Ronson and all the guys that are in the band. Just a great album, great live album. I heard somebody was playing this album on their show, so I was looking forward to playing this one, and I've already played it actually. And Mick Ronson's in here, and there's a whole bunch of people in this on this band. Ian Hunter. And Mick Ralphs, who later, I think he's not on this one. I think by this time he had already gone to Bad Company, I'm pretty sure. So that was the pickups that I got this week. And I also picked up a few things in the mail that I want to show you. And this is actually quite a few, because I've been selling quite a few of my CDs. My CDs are in the store. So if you're looking for CDs, I'm selling them all. And I've sold a lot of them already. I've sold a lot of Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree CDs, and Marillion and some other progressive rock bands, some jazz and stuff like that. So I've sold quite a few. But the link will be down below in Discogs, and it's a Big Chief Vinyl 57. And if you're interested in buying CDs, just go in there, and I'll combine the shipping if you want. And I'm just trying to pass them on to somebody who wants to listen to them. Because I'm all in on the vinyl now, and I don't really need the CD, so I'm trying to sell them all off. So if you're interested, there'll be a link down below. And with me selling the CDs, I'm able to put the money in PayPal and then pull it back out and buy some vinyl records that I'm missing and my favorite artist. And Steve Carlson was mentioning why people were doing the end of the year top 10 records of the year. I've already done mine for this year because I know there's not going to be anything coming out this month, these last couple of weeks, because I've already looked ahead. I've only bought like maybe 10 or 12 new albums the whole year. I probably bought 300 or 400 used ones, but I've only bought a couple hundred. I've only bought like 10 new albums. So it was real easy for me to do a top 10 because the top 10 of 2024, those have to be all new records, right? So it was easy for me. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, John and Vangelis, He Is Sailing. This is extended play. Yes. Love me some John and Vangelis. This one here sounds incredible. And I paid only like $8 for it, something like that. It was really crazy. This album here, Psychic Derek was showing. He played it on his show. If It's So, The Illusion. And this was had a $5 on this one here. This is a great album. It's like garage rock, psych music. It's really nice. Jet Lag, PFM. This is the alternate Italian cover. And my friend John said, yeah, I had that album. But do you listen to it, John? Do you listen to it? It was really good. It sounded really nice. It sounded better than the American release, actually. And I played it the other night. Some of these albums, I know every word. I've been listening to them for so long. This album here I got in the mail. Emmett Rhodes. I'm all in on Emmett Rhodes. And this is actually a promo that I stole, really, basically, for $7. I'm only missing one of his albums now. I can remember having his first album when I was just like in high school. And they were saying that he was going to be the next Paul McCartney. Yeah. The West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band, Volume 2. Yeah, found this one on online for like $10, $12. Brand new, sealed. This is a great psych band, and somebody was playing this one the other day, and I liked it, and so I streamed it, and then I liked it, and then I went ahead and got it. Jackson Browne, World in Motion. I think this is the final Jackson Browne album that was made before the CDs came out, and probably the last one that I really need. So yeah, I picked this one up for $5, and I'm going to give this one a listen. I love Jackson Browne. Al Di Meola, Casino. I sold my other copy I had to somebody, and because I wanted to get the promo, and I finally found one for a really reasonable price, and I played this one, and it sounded incredible. So that was really nice to get, and I already played that one. Genesis Live at Nedworth, Mama, Turn It On Again medley. This is a radio store day 2021. And I've already given this a listen, and this was really good. And I played at 45. I started it at 33, and making all kinds of noise. So, yeah, I got to listen to this one, and this was like $10. I picked that one up. This one here came from overseas. This is Julian Lennon. This was during the CD era, and this album here sounds incredible. I'm all in on Julian Lennon. There's 2 albums I can't get of his that were doing the CD era, and I'd have to get them from overseas, and they're quite expensive. So, yeah, I like Julian Lennon's voice. I've said before, I like his music better than his dad's. And found this one here, but I found this one here like, I don't know, maybe a year ago. And will this happen or not? Who knows? But time will tell. But I found this one during the year last year, and I ran across that in my collection, and I was going through these. And this was I guess an evangelist, Dr. Jack Van Eep. And according to the Bible, when, where, and why the war with Russia. So we'll find out whether or not that all happens. Let's hopefully it doesn't. Okay, so 1985. 1985, I was in Mayport, Florida. Yes, I was on board my second ship, and I was loving life. In 1985, I went up to the Great Lakes, and I made a cruise up through the Great Lakes, and had a great time. I went to my hometown where I'm from, and we stopped in there. We stopped into Chicago. We went to Milwaukee. We went to Thunder Bay. We went to up through Lake Superior, and all the way up into Duluth, Minnesota. We went up all the way up there and came back down. And it was a great, probably one of my favorite cruises when I was in the Navy, that's for sure. 1985, that's a long, long time ago. Next year, it'll be, 40 years ago. Wow, that's a long time ago. So coming in at number 10 for 1985. Well, it has to be the Al Di Meola Project, Soaring Through a Dream, yes. This is a great album. Al Di Meola made some incredible albums in the 80s. And just don't give up on him. And he did all that fusion stuff in the 70s. But he slowed it down a little bit in the 80s. And he made some great albums. This one here came out in 1985. This one here comes in at number 10 for me. Coming in at number 9. Olivia Newton-John. Probably my favorite Olivia Newton-John album. Soul Kiss. And just a great album. Probably, like I said, my favorite Olivia Newton-John album. Lots of hits on there. Coming in at number 8, Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. Talk about a lot of hits. They hit the mother load with this album. They could have probably retired after this album. But this one had Money for Nothing. So Far Away, The Walk of Life, just hit after hit, just a perfect album. Every song on here, front to back, is just perfect. And this one here is coming in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, this is the final album with Roger Hodgkin, or this was after Roger left, actually. Brother, Where You're Bound. Yes, this has David Gilmour on here on Cannonball. And this is a great album. They didn't miss Roger a step on this album, but this would be the last good album for Supertramp, pretty much. Where are we at? Are we on number 7 now? I'm going to check it out. No, that was number 7. Coming in at number 6. This is the band IQ, and this is called The Wake. This is a neo-prog band, and these guys were really good. This is one of their first albums. A bit like Marillion, kind of, sort of. It was the second wave of prog music in the 80s. And this one here coming in number 6. Coming in at number 5. Sting. The Dream of the Blue Turtles. I like Sting's music. I like his solo stuff better than I do the Police. And this album has a lot of jazz influences. And it has the song Russians on here. And If You Love Someone, Set Them Free. And just a great album. Number 5. I play it a lot. Never seen him live. Would have liked to, I guess. Coming in number 4. Bill Evans. I showed a Bill Evans album just a week or so ago. And this is not the piano player, Bill Evans. This is the saxophone player. And this album is called The Alternative Man. This is a fantastic album. I've listened to this 100 times probably. This is a really good jazz album. Yep, it sure is. It's on the Blue Note. Very accessible. And I think I found a second copy of this. Coming in at number 3, Phil Collins. This album was huge. No Jacket Required. And there was a lot of hits on this album too. Phil Collins in '85 was on top of the world. He was all over the place. He was on other people's records. He was playing at that concert that was across the continents. And it was over in Live Aid, and then he was everywhere. And Phil Collins also was with Genesis at the time, and he was doing stuff with them, and they were getting ready to put out Invisible Touch, and it was just Phil Collins craze. He was on TV a lot. He was on MTV. He was everywhere. So if you were alive back in '85, I know you saw Phil Collins. 1985. Marillion, Misplaced Childhood, coming in at number 2. Probably one of my favorite Marillion albums, but he'd be in my top 5 anyway if I ranked them. And yeah, I really like this album. This is a perfect album, front to back. It's a story about this little boy here, and it also, it's just, the whole thing is just if you could flip it over quicker, it would be it's just a continuation. The CD works better actually in some regard because of it, kind of like Remember the Future. It just kind of flows. It's like one song that takes up 2 sides with different parts to it. Just awesome. You know, Clutching at Straws is a great album too. And there's coming in at number 1. There can only be one number 1, right? Hounds of Love, Kate Bush, and this is the one that's hard to find, the violet one, the one that's the promo. And I found another copy of this for $5 at a record show not too long ago. It was up in here in North Carolina, and people didn't know what they had. It was just in a box of $5 records. And this is not that one, but the other one I have over here behind me, it's the cover is just roached. It's terrible looking. So I was looking at it, I said, oh man, the record's probably going to be trash too, but it wasn't. It was like brand new. But yeah, Kate Bush. This is the one that's hard to find, and it has this has the sticker on there and everything. And the original price on here was $7.99, I guess, or $6.99 up here. There's a couple different price tags on here. So this is the number 1 album. This is a perfect album. Some say this is their favorite Kate Bush album. Some say, like John, he says that. But my favorite of Kate is the album before this one, Hounds of Love. But I do love this album here as much. You know, if you could ask me tomorrow, I'd probably tell you this one here. And if 2 days from now, I'd tell you the other one. So it's just one of them things. That's all I got. That was quite a bit for 17 minutes. I'm rambling on, just like the old goat. The old goat, he tends to ramble on. He has those little things on the bottom here that shows that he's like a Pac-Man thing. So everybody take care out there. We'll be seeing you soon. I'll be seeing you on Wednesday, and I'm going to do the vinyl tag. Yes, I'm going to do the vinyl tag. Was it 20 questions, something like that? So I got to get busy with that, doing the vinyl tag. And we'll be seeing that on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Then I'll be back next weekend. So be good out there. Take care and support those troops. And I will be seeing you soon. North Carolina Vinyl Picker. I'm out.